Welcome to the locker room.
Vince Papali, welcome to the locker room.
I can smell it already, Billy.
Ron Hayes, welcome to the locker room with Billy Schwein.
Yeah, hey, Billy, how you doing out there?
Rich Gannon, welcome to the locker room, Rich.
Thanks, guys. It's great to be with you.
Great Bob McElwee, NFL referee.
Hey, Bill, how you doing?
Craig Berube. Craig, welcome to the locker room.
All right, thanks, Billy.
We have the real Pat Croce in the locker room.
What's the bench, Coach?
And now here's your host, Billy Schwein.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome into the locker room with Billy Schwein, Mike Carlin, and Josh Hennig as we broadcast live from Caesars Sportsbook inside the Tropicana in the NFL and get you ready for Monday Night Football. The Eagles against the Seattle Seahawks. Good morning, Mike Carlin. You've
Good
been away
morning.
for a little
Been
while.
away a couple weeks, but good to be back.
Out in Las Vegas,
I
right?
was out in Vegas, sick the week before that, and Vegas was fun. Let's just put it that way. Got to meet up with Dave, our boy from Vegas, and it was a good
You know,
time.
I've never met him in person. I've never met him.
Oh, he's let's just say he's funnier in person
Is that
than he is
right?
on the air. Yeah, I mean, and that's his town.
right.
I thought
right.
the town was a little bit of mine. It's his town. That's for sure.
You know, I always joke with him. I say, "Where do you go to the Rump Jungle?" Because that's when I used to go out there. That was like the big spot. It's no longer there. And I text him and I said, "What did you take Carlin to the Rump Jungle?" He started laughing.
No, we had a fun time, and I'll tell you what. For people that haven't been out in Vegas for a little bit, it's totally changed, Billy.
It hasn't really.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be down on, off the strip, not off the strip, but down the strip before Circus.
Right.
And it was like really run down. Riviera was there. So now, brand new Fontainebleau, brand new Resorts World. I mean, just both of them with over 5,000 rooms. They're like little towns, but it's really something.
Well, I got to tell you, Josh Hennig, we've been here throughout the whole football season at the Caesars Sportsbook inside the Tropicana. This is a great venue to watch the games, and you feel like you're part of the action when you're here because you see people with all kind of different jerseys, people from all over. It makes it kind of exciting.
Listen, being at the Caesars Sportsbook at Tropicana Atlantic City, this is your destination for the NFL or any sports, honestly. Yeah. I mean, yesterday there was all kinds of games on between a couple college football bowls, the NFL triple header. You had the Sixers and Flyers on last night. And anytime, Bill, you know how it is. When there's multiple games on, it's always better if you can go out somewhere where you know they're going to have all the games on, and you know they have the games on, not just because this is a place for sports fans to come, but it's also a sports book that caters to sports fans.
Yeah, it's a great place. Like I said, everything's centrally located, Mike Carlin. You got Chickies and Pete's, you got a Hash House at Go-Go, you got
bars
Hooters,
everywhere, you got pop-up bars, you got
Carmine's,
over 20 restaurants. I mean, yeah, you're right. This is the place. If you can't make it to the stadium itself, this is where you want to be.
And you walk in, it's so festive here. That huge poinsettia Christmas tree, it's absolutely gorgeous.
And you haven't even seen the quarter.
No, I haven't even been.
The quarter is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Oh, it's wild in there. Yeah.
Yeah, this is just like, if talk about feeling like a lot like Christmas. It does.
Oh,
here.
it's feeling a lot like Christmas. Maybe we don't have snow on the ground, but it definitely feels like Christmas.
We're broadcasting live on my YouTube channel. Go to my website, thelockerroombillyschwein.com. And scroll down. You can check us out. We're on StreamYard, but my YouTube channel. And we're going to get Carlin hooked up here soon with that. In the meantime, Josh Hennig, the Philadelphia Flyers, very impressive last night with a 1-0 win over the Detroit Red Wings. That's the kind of game that you don't expect to see a young team be able to do. Win a 1-0 game in a close, physically hard checking game.
Well, I think it's an example of the fact that, here's the real deal about the Flyers, okay? And the Sixers used to be in this boat, but they're not anymore. And that is, the Flyers are the team that people don't have expectation of because they don't know them. And I think the key is that the Flyers know their personnel well. And Mike, I know you know this from a basketball sense, just because the world outside of your locker room doesn't know the guys in the locker room doesn't mean that you don't know. And I think Tortorella is more than aware that he knows his guys and he knows what they're capable of.
That's the key word, capable. He's not putting them in positions that they're unfamiliar with, or they don't even want to do. Sometimes a coach can put a player in a position.
Right.
He's never either played that position or he didn't feel comfortable his whole life, and you're asking him to do something at this level.
Right.
It's not like preseason. We can work through.
That's just that theory is the same with football too. Like coaches that come in and try to implement their offense.
You have to
fit
adapt.
You have to adapt to what your talent is, right?
Correct.
Your players. And just want to remind people, we had Brian Propp in the studio yesterday, and he's taking a group up with PhillySportsTrips.com. Go there, and they have a busload of people they're taking up to the Winter Classic up there on February 17th at MetLife Stadium. It's PhillySportsTrips.com. You want to make sure if you want to go up, Brian Propp and a couple other flyers will be on that bus trip. It sounds like a lot of fun. But this place today, I mean, who's visiting us today, Mike Carlin?
Woo. We have Chef Michael coming in from Verdi, excuse me, which is their gourmet Italian restaurant on the casino level. Thursday through Sunday, it's literally, I've been to a lot of casinos here in my background. It's one of the few restaurants that I could say a gourmet restaurant where I don't know if there's a better view. From when you're sitting having dinner, looking out over the ocean. It's almost like you're on a cruise ship, just looking out over the water. It's absolutely picturesque. You got to come to see it to believe it. They have a happy hour at the bar from 5 to 6. But when you leave here, you're going to know, you were in an Italian restaurant, and you were in one of the best ones in the city.
So we got a big show lined up today. Of course, at the bottom of the hour, we'll talk with Scott Grayson from Fox 29 News. We'll get his keys to the game, brought to you by Blitz's Market. And then hour 2, it's a fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley, brought to you by Charlie's Bar and Restaurant. The Sixers continue, Josh, to play great basketball, albeit against lesser teams.
Sure.
But they're still winning. You know, what do we always say, Carlin? You got to beat the teams.
Play the teams on your schedule.
Right?
You have to play the teams on your schedule, but you also have to beat the teams that are not good. Because, guess what happens? The moment you don't beat the teams that are not good, people like Billy Schweim are going to be saying, how could you lose to the Pistons after they lost 22 games in a row? So it's the idea that, you got to beat who's in front of you. But if you're the Sixers, you also got to beat the bad teams to continue to have people know, hey, guess what? We're legitimate.
We're legitimate. We're for real. And of course, we have Danny Ryan back at the studio producing back there. Good morning, Danny Ryan.
Good morning, fellas. How we doing over there?
All right. Something just went wrong with my
We're
having all kind of problems with my StreamYard. But Danny, talk about the Flyers a little bit, if you will. I know you watched both of those games last night. I mean, the Flyers are 17-10-2. Did you ever expect them to be where they are right now?
I'll be honest, no. I also, too, another thing I'll be honest about, I didn't watch much Flyers hockey before this season, understandably so, and they've been surpassing what I expected from them when everyone else expected. I watched their shootout. I think it was against, I'm blanking on the team. It wasn't the Red Wings. Whoever they played on Thursday or Friday. Who was that?
Nashville.
Okay, yes.
Well,
that shootout against them, it was unbelievable what they were able to do.
You're talking about
the Washington Capitals.
You're talking about the Caps game.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, the Capitals game, yeah. Anyways, shootout, I mean, obviously Carter Hart used to be the guy. I'm not quite sure what's going on in goalie right now. Is it more of a platoon situation?
No, Hart's been sick.
Okay, gotcha. I mean, either way.
And he's been playing really
Hart
well.
was supposed to start the last couple of games, but apparently he got whatever that flu was that went through a couple of the Philadelphia teams recently. We know the Sixers with Embiid, a couple of the players got sick, a couple of the Eagles got sick. So whatever was going on with those teams, apparently Hart's the next man up on the Price is Right when it comes to getting sick.
And by the way, Jalen Hurts expected to play on Monday despite his illness. We'll see about Geno Smith. But no, I mean, as Tortorella said, this team's got balls, Billy.
Yeah.
They've got balls, and they've been showing it. I mean, they're not the most talented team, but he's leading them to victory.
See that, and we talked about this yesterday, Mike, on the program. Being a team that's an underdog that is playing above their capabilities is so exciting. But what's harder? Remaining once you get to the pinnacle, like the Eagles,
pressure. It's called pressure.
You're up top, and everybody's trying to knock you off to try to stay above, or that build up. I mean, it seems like that's more exciting, but it's harder.
It's harder to be on top.
Everybody's
shooting for you when you're on top.
Right.
When you're where the Flyers are right now, you know what they're playing with? Playing with fun.
Yeah, they're playing. They got nothing to lose.
They got nothing. They can't wait to get on the ice, and the more they win, the more confidence they're getting.
Yeah,
but when you're at the top, everybody's shooting for you. Then the pressure is, God forbid we lose to a team we're supposed to beat. we're
Right.
going to hear about it.
And on the other end of the spectrum, Josh, you got the Eagles who, we've been spoiled, Mike and Josh. Danny, last year they had such a great season, 14-3. They blew people away. They made it to the Super Bowl. They lose in the Super Bowl. This year we have such high expectations for Jalen Hurts and the rest of the team. And we've been winning, but we've been winning ugly. It hasn't been aesthetically pleasing, like we said several times, Josh. And it just like with the last two losses, all of a sudden you're starting to see chinks in the armor.
Well, there's two things that we have to bring up. One is, and Bill, you mentioned this months ago. Okay, so I'm going to bring memory recall back to the beginning. All right. You mentioned back in August and September how last year the Eagles were so healthy.
Right.
This year they've been injured. You're seeing what happens when a team, one, gets injured and two, has to play 3 games in 13 days. So that's the first part of the conversation. The chinks in the armor conversation is a much larger picture, because depending on who you want to point the finger at, there's a lot of speculation that basically, because listen, for me, I don't care about the defense at this point. The defense is what it is. They're constantly injured. They're giving up points. I know the front 5 needs to play better, but I kind of accepted they are who they are. I have a problem with the offense, guys, because this is an offense with the runner-up for the MVP last year, who statistically, aside from the interceptions, is having a better season in all the other categories than he had last year.
Right, except for the interceptions.
Except for the interceptions.
And the fumbles.
Right, but look, here's the problem with turnovers. If you're going to dump on Hurts, you got to dump on Mahomes, you got to dump on Josh Allen, you got to dump on all these other quarterbacks who are, the whole league is down.
Right.
Okay,
right,
the whole
right.
league. The only guy who's not turning the ball over constantly seems to be Jared Goff for whatever reason. I mean, that was ridiculous last night. 5 touchdowns and no interceptions. But the point is that Jalen is actually, for the most part, doing his job. The problem is that the rest of the team around him is not. And I'm concerned, what is it? Is it the play calling? Is it the offensive line is not as good as it was last year? Is it guys, not giving the full effort? Like, what is keeping this offense? Because there's no reason why a team with Hurts and A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith and Dallas Goedert and DeAndre Swift and 2 future Hall of Famers on your offensive line should have scored no offensive touchdowns last week.
Cowboys. And then we'll talk about it all as we broadcast live from the Caesars Sportsbook inside the Tropicana. Want to remind people the first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts that will help you through the entire process. From contract signing to closing for the shortest center city and every place in between, Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900 or give the Ocean City office a call at 609-399-1227.
Your ultimate game day experience awaits you at Caesars Sportsbook at the Tropicana Atlantic City. Watch and bet on your favorite NFL teams all season long. With 180 plus seats, VIP booths, massive screens, the Caesars Sportsbook at Tropicana is the place to book your experience at Caesars.com/AC.
I'm here to tell you about La Scala's Beach House. La Scala's Beach House is located in Brigantine. It opened this summer to rave reviews. It's your home away from home from a large selection of Italian, American, and seafood favorites, just like your grandma made. Plus, you'll enjoy their famous pizza, daily specials, and their game day menu. Eat in or take out at La Scala's. They're open Wednesday through Sunday. They're located at 1400 Ocean Avenue in Brigantine. Every Thursday night is Brigantine night. Live music from 6 to 9 p.m. 1 free signature pizza per table. Drink specials include $2 Miller Lite, $3 Peronis, and $4 house wines. That's LaScalasBeachHouse.com. Let's eat. All right, when we return, we'll continue with more here as we broadcast live from the Caesars Sportsbook inside the Tropicana. Billy Schwein, Mike Carlin, Josh Hennig, Danny Ryan back in the studio right here on 97.3 ESPN.
Wake up weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on 97.3 ESPN with Unsportsmanlike with Evan Cohen, Super Bowl champion Chris Canty, and Michelle Smallman.
If there's multiple urinals, do not go next to me. If there's 5 urinals, 1, 3, and 5. Then you fill in 2 and 4. Where do you go if you're the first one in? I go to 5. All the way at the end. The 5.
All the way to the end.
Then the next person has to go to 1. The next person 3.
Brought to you by the Gallery Bar Book and Games at Ocean Casino Resort in Atlantic City.
Winning means keeping our community safe. I'm Hassan Reddick, linebacker for the Philadelphia Eagles. 59% of our adults report experiencing gun violence or know someone who has. Just like we focus on our training, we need to focus on proper gun storage.
Firearms should be locked out of reach of children and only accessible by you.
If you notice any warning signs of violence, speak up. Tell someone who can help.
Let's tackle gun violence together. Visit CamdenCounty.com/gun safety to learn more.
Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson and Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson and Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson and Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson and Sons for electrical. They're number one.
Something good to know from First Bank of Sea Isle City. We have all of today's innovative banking products just like the big banks, but we offer something they can't. A personal community focus. Let's get you started with Bill Pay. You save time when you pay your bills online. It's fast, easy, and convenient. First Bank of Sea Isle City. A community bank that delivers more for you every day. Personal service, today's technology, from the people who truly care. Learn more at firstbankseaisle.com.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to the 3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
All right, we're back broadcasting live at the Caesars Sportsbook inside the Tropicana for Week 15 in the NFL. And, of course, Eagles, Seahawks, Monday Night Football. And then Mike Carlin, this is the game that the Eagles need. It's a get-right game. And I was skeptical of, I picked the 49ers to win 2 weeks ago. I picked the Cowboys last week, not because I wanted to, because I had to.
It was the right thing.
Gives me
the
no
right thing to do.
Gives me no enjoyment to do that, but I did. And I'm not. And I was like, I was trending. And I'll give you my pick, obviously, at the end of the show. I was trending towards not pick them again. But then I look at the statistics, and I know guys sometimes say the statistics lie. I don't think they do. And then when I see a team that's ranked,
you don't think they do when they agree with you.
They back up my philosophy, right? But I'm looking at the Seahawks total defense. They're ranked 28, 23 against the rush, 25 against the pass. They give up 27 points a game. They're bottom tier in all defensive categories, Mike Carlin. So this could be, despite the be out. Cam Jurgensen's going to be out. Jurgensen's out. And so is Zach Cunningham. But despite those losses, Mike Carlin, I still believe it.
Well, I'm going to, ready? I'm a better. A lot more than Seattle. Don't get me wrong. But you ready for this stat? What if I told you that Seattle is 13-4 on Monday Night Football under Pete Carroll?
Yeah,
there's only one other team better. It's Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I would believe
they don't lose on Monday nights.
Yeah, but here's the problem with that stat. That is a stat that is also based on when those Steelers and Seahawks teams were much better teams. This Seahawks team is not as good as to be on prime time. You're a good football team, right? That's no premise. Well, when the Seahawks were winning the Super Bowl and going back there, or the Legion of Boom and Russell Wilson, they're a different team than they are now. The Seahawks had to make a trade before the deadline to get Leonard Williams to help fix their defense, and I think that's a part of the conversation that has to be had.
So every Friday I write an article for 973ESPN.com, and in that article I illustrated, every Sunday we get the keys to the game with Scott Grayson. What's he ultimately talk about all the time?
Turnovers.
Win the turnover battle. Last year at this point we were a +8. We're now -4. Mike Carlin, you can't turn the ball over.
You can't, and against any team. It doesn't matter what the record is.
That's a great neutralizer, right?
Exactly. It turns everything around. But the other thing, we're known for a home field advantage playing. Seattle's really tough.
No, and I know because I know people I've never been to that
is.
Stadium, but I heard people that have, and they said it's loud.
It's a totally different game for them when they're playing at home.
Josh, not only that, one of the telling stat that I wrote in my article, and I know because you edited it, so you had to have read it, is the fact that the point differential is so lopsided this year. The three teams in the NFC that are 10-3. Dallas or 49ers, I think, are a +180, 188. The Cowboys are +177, and the I guess it was the Cowboys, 49ers, and Eagles are +22 or +21. Their differential isn't good.
Yeah,
they're not outscoring.
Well, it's also a subjective number.
They gave up 75.
The Cowboys have played a soft. All their Eagles win.
Right.
So, it's easier. It's like in college football, right? It's the idea of, hey, you may be Georgia, but if you beat up on Vanderbilt and Mississippi State and losing not good football teams, you're going to have more style points. So I don't know if the point differential is as important to me as I'm concerned about the offense. Look, here's a stat that you guys can use, okay? This is where a stat is, to me, is valuable. When the Eagles scored 21 or more points, out.
Right.
0-3 when they scored 21. That means that all this team needs is 3 touchdowns. You're talking about the defense. To me, the problem is the offense. Because guess what? You beat the Bills.
Right.
And you still have a bunch of points. If you don't fumble the ball 3 times in the Dallas game, you probably have points on the board. And let's assume at worst they're all field goals. That's 9 points. So you know what you have? Instead of having 13, you have 22. That's a completely different game if you have those points there.
So he's worried about the offense, and I'm looking at this, and I got another stat for you. How about when the Eagles run the ball? They're 30-6 when they run the ball 23 times or more. They're 3-8 when they don't. So when the Eagles run the ball, so 2 things we just discussed.
Control the clock.
The control the clock. Grayson says it every single week.
Play keep away.
It's the formula. It's not rocket science, Mike Carlin.
Guys, when did we start thinking that we're not in last year's?
Right,
okay,
but
this is this year. Maybe we're just not as good as we think we are. You ever think that?
Well,
now I know we're 10-3. We are. We're 10-3.
But Mike,
that's a really good
team. Did you
team.
say that? Like everybody, and I listen. When you look at this roster, I can't blame Howie Roseman because you got.
Oh, he's got everybody.
You got great pedigree.
You can't
get
any better players on that.
Right?
Well, hold on. So, Mike, when you say there might not be as good as it, can you expound upon that?
Yeah, I can expound it. I have a quarterback that signed a massive contract. I don't know that Howie Laurie or the owner or Roseman went to the new offensive coordinator and says, "Hey, listen, he's not running like he's been running.
I doubt
we
that's
have.
happening.
I don't know. Is he playing the same way he's played last year?
No.
Oh, okay. Why?
I believe it's because of a different offense coordinator. I don't think Brian Johnson is as good as his job as Steichen.
And I agree. I absolutely. And I think that's also the same with the defense when you're saying we're giving up points. But again, it goes back to our quarterback. He's not playing the way he played last year. There's got to be a reason. Is he hurt? He's just not saying as much as he's hurt? I don't know.
But let me counter that. When the wide receivers drop the ball, is that his fault?
No.
When A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith fumble the ball, is that his fault?
No, but
I'll blame Hurts when he fumbles.
But I want let me defend Mike's point of view, because I got into it with somebody on Instagram about Jalen Hurts being an MVP, and little by little it's coming out with just different outlets that Jalen Hurts is not looking downfield. He's paying attention to the pass rush.
Well, that's not true.
He's not seeing.
That's not true.
This is coming from people, Josh, that are respected football people.
Well, other people are saying otherwise, because when I've listened to Greg Cosell and Baldinger,
he's one of them. He's one of them that said that.
Well, he didn't say that the last time I listened to him.
Well, I heard him say
a lot of people say a lot of things
so
once. If you want to hang on religiously to one thing,
but I go by people that I respect too.
That's great, Bill. But I respect people too. And the reality is that one of the things he's doing is he's waiting so long for the play to progress down the field.
Because they're going for the big hit.
Right, he's going for the big hit. So why would you be waiting for the big hit if you're not looking downfield?
All right, well then that's the offensive coordinator's fault, because these plays aren't designed like the West Coast offense was designed for the yards after the catch. Like
they don't run the West Coast offense.
No, I know, but Deebo Samuel, he had 3 touchdowns.
They run the West Coast offense.
They just it was short little pops and he ran all over.
The Shanahan offense.
Remember, our defense isn't tackling well either, Carlin.
We're not tackling at all this year. We're not playing like we did last year. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
Okay, and we've played 3 really good teams on our schedule: Dallas twice and San Fran. And what happened on both? We could have lost the first time we beat Dallas.
But guess what? The reason why you lost to those teams are also you shot yourself in the foot.
Right.
With turnovers.
With the turnovers, but also the way you're executing.
I just think our best player on that team, especially on offense, is our quarterback. And he's not playing how he played last year.
Yeah,
that's
but
the bottom line.
This is a whole team failure across the board, from the head coach to the offensive coordinator to the starting quarterback. Because guys, whether we like and listen, look at Kelsey made 2 blatant mistakes
back
to back. You know, I mean, like I said, it's everybody. It's not just one person. So with that being said, they got to do what they said.
Focus.
They got to do a better job coaching. Jalen Hurts has got to do a better job seeing the ball.
And that's why it gets back to me for Sirianni. Sirianni gave up the play calling a couple of years ago.
Right.
Because he wanted to be the CEO of the team. Well, as a CEO of the team, I need you to take that crying and that emotion and walk into those meeting rooms and light into your coaches. A head coach has to coach his coaches. Bill Parcells said once, a head coach who doesn't coach his coaches is a loser.
That's right. All right. We're broadcasting live here at the Caesars Sportsbook inside the Tropicana. People are starting to file in. It's a big weekend in the NFL. Week 15, of course, the Eagles and the Seahawks Monday Night Football. The first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. From the shore to Center City and every place in between, Surety Title is there for you at 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900 or give the Ocean City office a call at 609-399-1227.
Fall into fun this season with a getaway at Tropicana Atlantic City. Break in the savings with incredible hotel deals. Indulge in restaurants, revel in exciting nightlife and entertainment. Book your Tropicana getaway today at Caesars.com/AC.
I'm here to tell you about the Stan Insurance Group, SIG Protection. Are the what-ifs keeping you up at night? Life is full of surprises, but with Stan Insurance Group, you'll never be caught off guard. Whether it's protecting your home, automobile, business, Stan will help you select the right insurance coverage at the right price to give you and your family peace of mind when you need it the most. Visit sigprotection.com for a free quote. Today. That's sigprotection.com. All right, when we return, we'll talk with Fox 29 News sports anchor Scott Grayson. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein, Mike Carlin, Josh Hennig, Danny Ryan back in the studio as we broadcast live the Caesars Sportsbook inside the Tropicana right here on 97.3 ESPN.
Train presents The Unstoppables. Those captains of comfort, those gargantuans of the guarantee, those satisfaction savants who persevere perilously beyond probability as the raconteurs of reliability. Here's to Train's heralded heroes of heating and air conditioning, those comfort kings with a tireless tenacity for total turnaround. The Train Comfort Specialists. Just one more reason why it's hard to stop a train.
Hi, this is Joe Lenigan, owner of Lenigan Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call us today for your free train system quote at 609-399-1200 or online at ocnjplumber.com. And please don't forget to ask for the military and senior discount.
Call Lenigan. Call Lenigan.
Hi, this is Brian Propp, Flyer Hall of Famer. My wife Eileen and I opened a new health business in Marlton, New Jersey called Prime IV Hydration and Wellness.
Prime IV offers a range of IV hydration therapies designed to enhance your well-being, appearance, and performance. Look better, feel better, and perform better. Did you know that when you take oral vitamins, you only get 20 to 30% of the nutrient? IV therapy provides 100% absorption immediately into your bloodstream. Call us today at 856-545-1122 to get a free consult from our registered nurses. Again, 856-545-1122 to book your appointment or follow us on Facebook.
Hi, this is ex-Philadelphia Eagles tight end Ken Dunnick, and I'm the current publisher of Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine, and I'm asking you to become a Camden County police officer and help make our city a better place to live. The Camden County Police Department is now hiring for sworn officers who are going to make a difference in our community. The first year's salary for the position is $51,000. So join the effort today to be part of something bigger than yourself. Visit CamdenCountyPD.org to apply online. That's CamdenCountyPD.org. Thank you.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein.
The Caesars Sportsbook inside the Tropicana for Week 15 in the NFL. Eagles, Seattle Seahawks, Monday night. And this is a get-right game. We need to get right in this game. Every Sunday throughout the football season, we get the keys to the game with Fox 29 News sports anchor Scott Grayson, brought to you by Blitz's Market, located on 21st and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Try their famous breakfast sandwiches, hoagies, gourmet burgers, and they even had vegetarian options. Online ordering is available at blitzmarket.com. 9983. Start your day off with Blitz's freshly squeezed orange juice. Mention the Locker Room and get $1 off 12 ounces of liquid sunshine. That's Blitz's Markets, 21st and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Go down and say hello to Dave and Joe Newman. Let's go to the Toms River Volkswagen Sports Hotline and welcome into the Locker Room our good buddy, Fox 29 News, Scott Grayson. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are we?
We're getting ready for Christmas. How about you?
Yes, we're all doing that, right? Panicking and yeah, it's hard to believe it's almost here.
So I need you to give me a Christmas present Monday night. You're going to give me 3 keys to the game as we matriculate through this segment. You're going to give me 3 reasons why you believe the Eagles are going to win today, because we need this is a get-right game, Grayson. If we ever needed one, we need a win.
Yeah, what if I don't have 3?
Well, I know they're 2 out of your 3. Control the ball and don't turn it over. It's not rocket science, Grayson. It's
not.
Come on,
It's not. And we've been saying that. And what have they done? They aren't controlling the ball and they're turning it over. So what's happening? It's yeah, I hope so, Billy. I hope Monday night is a good night. I got to tell you though, I'm a little concerned with some of these injuries they have going on. With Slay out of there, he has played well. I know the stats back that up. The play in the secondary as a unit has not been good. But losing him and missing him out against a guy with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett rolling around out there, and this Njigba Smith guy. I mean, they've got good receivers in Seattle, and that's been one of the reasons why this team has lost the last 2 games. Some receivers have eaten them up. So I'm a little concerned there. Cam Jurgens being out, that's a little bit of a concern as well on the right side. So logic would say let's run the ball a little bit more behind the left side and occasionally on the right side and mixing it up a little bit. So, and then you got Jalen Hurts and his illness. I know he's traveling. He's expected to play and and all that as well. It's also one of those things you just kind of stick in your back pocket and say, I don't like the vibe I'm getting here because at the beginning of the week, I kind of looked at it like you said, Billy, get right game. Let's start the last 4 games here with a bit of a run. Win in Seattle on Monday night and get the ball rolling back in the right direction. I'm not saying I think they're going to lose. I'm not one of these guys. I'm not sitting here saying the sky is falling, but to me, I'm going, hey, this is a little bit of a concern.
We talked about this earlier about how the Eagles start to see a little cheek when a team starts to lose, Scott, or has a little adversity they have to overcome. You see the cream rise to the top as far as leadership. But you got Darius Slay making some quotes about how his game, he played really well, the team didn't. And then you have some guys who talk to a reporter and maybe say we're too generic on offense or we're too predictable. Do these little things that are creeping out right now and things that some of these players are saying, is that a concern to you?
So I was around the guys on Wednesday, and that helped me get a better feel for some of it in the locker room. 2 things here, and I think they're 2 different things, Billy. What you mentioned about Slay. I don't think Slay meant for it to come off the way it did. It's one of those times where you get in an argument with your wife, and your wife looks back at you, and she's like, you just said this. It's no, you're putting words in my mouth. I get what Slay said. What he said, if you take it word for word, was, and I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but like, it wasn't my fault.
Right.
And that's not conducive to a great team environment. Okay. I don't think he meant to throw his teammates under the bus, but that's certainly the way it came off. The rest of it, what you said about the players, talking about the coaches and some of the play calling, I feel like that in some way is a way that the guys are trying to get to the coaching staff to say, hey, this ain't working and we've got to fix it. And that I think can be productive. And when I was around the players, Brandon Graham especially talked to me about the conversations with the coaches. And this coaching staff listens. They listen to what you have to say and what the leaders have to say. So I got the sense, if you read between the lines, that there were conversations had this week in the building between players and coaches about this is what we're seeing. This is what we're feeling. This is what we think we need to do. And what I'm looking forward now to Monday night is seeing, how does that translate? Do we see some differences in coverages? Do we see differences in the plan on offense and defense? Because if we do, that's going to tell me that the coaches listen to the players. They all collaborated to get to wherever that looks like. So I expect we will see some different stuff. And we did this week when they went out in full pads on Thursday and in practice. That doesn't happen, especially this late in the season. And I believe it was the players who requested that. So I think we are seeing a little bit of an evolution. This is where you look at it and you go, listen, those 2 losses were horrible. It's not that they lost. It's the way they lost.
Hallelujah.
But maybe on the other side of it, they'll come out stronger.
Scott, I want to backtrack what you said a moment ago, because you talked about how the players, the idea that, hey, I did my job, but someone else didn't. For a team like the Eagles, they have a lot of veterans. So I got to assume that this week there had to be some sort of, for lack of a better term, come to Jesus moment among the players where they had to have a conversation with, whether it's at the group or maybe as individuals, to be like, hey, just because I did my job, I need you to do yours, but it doesn't mean I'm throwing you under the bus for it.
Yeah, I felt like there was some of that player-to-player stuff, player-to-coach, like I said, Josh. But yeah, I do think there was some player-to-player stuff that went down. And I think that as they're making their way, look, they got a long plane ride where they can talk all they want. They're trapped in a tin can heading all the way out to, to Seattle. And I think that there's going to be some of that took place. And again, I'm going back to some of what Brandon Graham said, but he was talking to me about, how these guys had talked together, how they had gotten together, through some of this. And I think there was some. And the thing that Brandon Graham said is, listen, guys, we don't want to mess this up, right? They realized that as bad as the last 2 weeks were, look, you're still 10-3. You're still one of the top 3 teams in your division. You're tied for top in the division. The first seed is still very well out there. You need a little help from San Francisco now. You put yourself in that spot. The division is still yours to control at this point, even though I know right now the standings say they don't win the division. It's only because Dallas is 4-1 in division play. The Eagles are 3-1. If they win out, the Eagles will win the division. And I think Brandon Graham's message was, okay, guys, let's take a deep breath and let's not mess this up. Those were his words. Don't mess this up. So I think they're going out there with the mission of getting it right, as you said, Billy. And they've always had that next man up mentality. I don't think they're too worried about the guys that are not there playing this week. That's more of us as reporters, and to look at and go, well, you're missing this, you're missing that, you're missing that. I expect to see a different intensity and energy out there on the field, especially with that extra day this week. And, another player who was injured, Reed Blankenship, he's been a full practice. I expect he's going to work his way through this concussion protocol and will play.
Every Sunday, we get the keys of the game with Fox 29 News anchor Scott Grayson. Scotty, you did allude to the fact that players talk to when I said they talk to the reporters. Does that suggest that there's not an open line of communication with the coaches prior to this?
No, I think there is. I just think that these guys all have different ways of venting, if you will. It's kind of, this is my interpretation, and I may be wrong. And I think some guys choose to do it through the media in anonymous ways, not many. And I don't think that's productive per se, because then it gets out in the public. But if you are that frustrated, and perhaps maybe you're not one of the veterans with a lot of clout, like a Jason Kelsey, right?
Right.
Maybe you're not a veteran per se yet. And I'm not saying this is who said it, but I'm trying to use an example and say, well, a second-year player like a Devontae Smith may not have the clout to be able to go in and say, well, we need to do more of this or that. Well, maybe what you have to do is to get your message out there to stir some stuff up a little bit to generate that kind. Because what happens? All of us walk into Nick Sirianni's press conference. They're like, hey, Nick, you got guys talking out here. It forces them to address it. And so, again, I'm watching real close, Billy, Monday night to see. I want to watch the sidelines. I want to watch the energy at the beginning of the game. Because, look, this is a fact. The Eagles have been behind at the half each of the last 6 games. Yeah. They have been behind by double digits in 3 of those 6 games. So they're not coming out of the gate with a good plan. They're not coming out of the gate with energy and intensity. I need to see that change this week.
Scott, you mentioned Nick Sirianni, and that kind of led me into the question I want to ask, which is, Sirianni, he is now with multiple different coaches on his staff this year. How much of what's going on is in part Sirianni working through the fact that he had Gannon, he had Steichen for 2 years, and now with Johnson and with Desai, he has to maybe do his job a little differently.
Yeah, I think he needs to be a little bit more hands-on with those guys. And I'll be curious to see if there's a little bit of that. And look, he admits he doesn't go in and bother with the defense much because he doesn't have a lot to offer unless it's, hey, Sean Desai is asking him, if I do this, what would an offense do? That's where Nick sees his role with the defense. He's more with the offense. And I will be curious to see, he said things this week that you want to bang your head against the wall because we've all seen it and felt like they should have been doing this weeks ago. But we have to get DeAndre Swift the ball a little bit more.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Really, Nick? Yes. Yes, you do.
Grayson's been telling him that since week 1.
And early in the season, they did that. Look what happened. And so I think there is some of that. And look, let's give Nick Sirianni and the Eagles credit. Look, they're 10-3. They had to replace both coordinators last year. He's only in his third year coaching or something like that, third or fourth year, and he is already dealing with sending coordinators out to be head coaches that he's now had to learn and bring new guys in to get that role. There's growing pains with that. It's natural. They've overcome some of that to get to 10-3, and now they face a different kind of adversity that they have to find their way through as a staff. So again, that's another thing to just keep an eye on this week. But yeah, I think Nick needs to be a little bit more involved right now. Look, when you start taking on water and that ship starts to just sink a little bit, you got to start grabbing a bucket and throwing that water off the side a little bit too. You got to help out, and I think that's what we'll see a little bit of.
They're listed to the starboard side. All right, Grayson, give us your 3 keys to this game for victory for the Eagles Monday night against the Seahawks.
Well, we saw it last week. I cannot stomach 3 turnovers. Are you kidding me? I mean, after the first one, don't you as a defense or as an offense start protecting that ball a little bit more? Because you're going, I don't want to be the next guy to fumble. And then after 2, how are you, Devontae Smith, not wrapping up with both hands on that ball? They definitely made that a point of focus this week. So I expect to see them go out there and look, I need a no turnover game, guys. I need a no turnover game from the offense. Second thing, 10 penalties last week. 3 of the last 4 games, they've had 7 penalties or more. That is not okay. They've been beating themselves between the fumbles and the penalties. So the answer to how do you win this game, don't beat yourself. No turnovers from the offense. I need to see a much better disciplined all around, not 7 penalties. Look, you got to be a lot better with the flags. And third, I need this defense to get pressure. It's so frustrating watching. And every week these guys are well coached on the other side. Get rid of the ball. Get rid of the ball. Get rid of the ball. I need to see this defensive line come out with more passion. Right now I see Hassan Reddick. He's the guy who wants a quarterback the most right now. Fletcher Cox has been giving me a little bit more than I would expect from a guy that's as many years into the league as he is. I need the rest of those guys to chip in. You all got to get in there now and get after that quarterback, whether it's Geno Smith or Drew Lock. You got to make those guys uncomfortable because they may have the receivers out there, but if they can't get them the ball well, they'll throw it up and it'll be opportunities for turnovers, for the Eagles to get. So those are the things a little different this time, Billy. I don't want any turnovers from the offense. Penalties have to be limited. And then go out there and get after this quarterback.
All right, with that being said, Scotty Grayson, give us your prediction for Monday night in Seattle. Eagles.
I pick the Eagles every week just because I feel like they're the better roster. And again, they beat themselves. I have a hard time finding a way that they would lose this one after what they've been through the last 2 weeks. That being said, I just can't trust this defense to limit the opponent. So I think we're going to see, I'm going to go again like a 30-27 Eagles game. I'll say Eagles win, but it won't be, look, style points. If that's what you're looking for, you're not going to find them this week.
All right, there he is. Scott Grayson from Fox 29 News said Eagles 30, Seahawks 27. As always, Scott Grayson, we really appreciate you. And let's go, man. Let's get a win out in Seattle.
Yeah, absolutely. And if things shake the right way, the Eagles may clinch a playoff spot today. We'll see what happens.
Perfect. Right, there he is, Scott Grayson from Fox 29 News. We'll see you next week, Scott. I'll be talking to you during the week, but we'll be broadcasting live here next Sunday. Looking forward to seeing you.
All right, you got it. Take care, guys.
All right, there is the keys to the game with Fox 29 News sports anchor Scott Grayson, brought to you by Blitz's Market, located 21st at Asbury in Ocean City, New Jersey. Try their famous breakfast sandwiches, hoagies, gourmet burgers, vegetarian options. Online ordering is available at blitzesmarkets.com or give them a call at 609-399-9983. Start your day off with Blitz's freshly squeezed orange juice. Mention the locker room and get $1 off their 12 ounces of liquid sunshine. That's Blitz's Markets, 21st and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City.
Your ultimate game day experience awaits you at Caesars Sportsbook at Tropicana, Atlantic City. Watch and bet on your favorite NFL teams all season long with 180-plus seats, VIP booths, and massive screens. The Caesars Sportsbook at Tropicana is the place to book your experience at Caesars.com/AC.
First hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. From the shore to Center City and every place in between, Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. Give the Ocean City office a call at 609-399-1227. Hey, just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine that is run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. But were you aware of their private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month, they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey that attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and sees it fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give him a call at 856-912-4000 for more information. All right, when we return, we'll wrap up hour number one. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein, Mike Carlin, Josh Hennig, as we broadcast live at the Caesars Sportsbook inside the Tropicana right here on 97.3 ESPN.
Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson and Sons for electrical, they're number one.
Every year, hundreds of children suffer from unintentional injuries or death due to unsecured guns. Camden County and Moms Demand Action South Jersey are asking for your help to reduce gun violence by spreading the Be Smart message.
Store guns unloaded, locked, and separate from ammunition. And talk to other parents about secure gun storage.
It's up to us to prevent these tragedies and save lives. Visit CamdenCounty.com/Be Smart to learn how we can stop gun accidents and deaths together.
The power's out at our house. Coffee table. But since our family has storm-ready Wi-Fi from Xfinity, we can stream or game in the dark. Oh, who moved the couch? So that's what we're doing right now, in fact, is I try and feel around for a seat. Ah, here we go. Oh, cactus? Can I get a little help over here?
Yeah, bro. Just let me finish this boss battle.
Sure, go ahead. Medic!
Now you can get fast, reliable internet on the Xfinity 10G network and get storm-ready Wi-Fi when you upgrade, so you can stay connected for up to 4 hours, even when the power goes out. Only from Xfinity. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Storm-ready Wi-Fi limited to customers within range of 4G LTE cellular signal. Speeds reduced to 30/7 megabits per second. Actual speeds vary. For more details, visit Xfinity.com/stormready.
Now, more of The Locker Room with Billy Schwein. 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
All right, we're back at the Caesars Sportsbook inside the Tropicana, as we are each and every Sunday throughout the football season. We've been having a great time here, Mike Carlin. I mean, the atmosphere is second to none. You got we see all kind of jerseys in here. That's kind of fun.
It's that and the people that they attract here, Tropicana.
Yeah.
Just I mean, everybody coming up to us saying hello, and the food that we get every week. I mean, today we got Verdi coming out, the Italian restaurant. I can't wait for that.
I mean,
every week it's something.
Atlantic City is the place to be, man. This is it. They're centrally located. Everything's under one roof here at Tropicana.
You don't have to leave here.
But here's another great thing about this place, and that is the Eagles play tomorrow night. Okay. So people have time right now to go to Caesars.com/AC and book their party or event here for tomorrow.
Yeah.
And guess what? You know what happens? Maybe you get one of those deals during the week before Christmas. Maybe stay here for a night tomorrow night after the Eagles game. You know, make a little night evening.
Little prime rib dinner tomorrow night at Chelsea.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. Hour one is in the books. It's flying by. But Mike, you just said something we're going to talk about on the other side. Grayson wasn't really too convinced. Was he sound convincing about the Eagles?
Hey, a 3-point score is a 3-point score.
Right.
To me, that's anybody's game.
And that's the spread.
Yeah.
All right, hour one is in the books. Ahead of us, we'll continue with our Eagles talk, our NFL talk. On the other side, we'll have the beverage manager here at the Caesars Sportsbook Victoria come by and talk to us a little bit about what's going on here at the Tropicana, the Caesars Sportsbook. And we got the fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley. All that and more. It's the Locker with Billy Schwein, Mike Carlin, Josh Hennig, Danny Ryan, as we broadcast live from the Caesars Sportsbook inside the Tropicana right here on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
This is the radio home for Philadelphia Eagles football. It's week 15, and the Eagles head to Seattle to face the Seahawks on Monday Night Football.
He is brought down. He fumbles the football. It's picked up. And running along the sideline and in for the touchdown is Jalen Carter.
Eagles radio network coverage begins at 7. Maryland Mike call all the action starting at 8:15. This is South Jersey's official home for Philadelphia Eagles football. 97.3 ESPN. Brought to you by
GMS Law. Make the right call with 4 convenient locations to serve you and at gmslaw.com. Boardwalk Honda. Shop our lineup of new pre-owned and certified pre-owned Hondas online at boardwalkhonda.com. The Fan Zone at Sun Valley Pools. Unique fan gear and gifts for every fan of every team. Cape Regional Health System. Your healthcare partner for a healthier life in Cape May County. Jersey Shore Federal Credit Union. Choose better banking. And South Jersey Gas.
97.3 ESPN FM is your official home in South Jersey for Eagles football.
Progressive Fence and Rail. Hey, Mike Gill here. Wishing for an outdoor upgrade that will make the neighbors jealous? My friends at Progressive Fence and Railing are your secret weapon. Whether it's a durable fence or railing, a stylish deck, a beautiful awning, or a serene gazebo, they've got the magic touch. Experience top-notch quality, impeccable craftsmanship, and finance options that fit your budget. Grab your free estimate today.
ProgressiveFenceandRail.com.
Staples is serious about gaming. And right now, during Staples Holiday Deals, we're even serious. Like this week at Staples, save $50 on the Xbox Series S with 3-month Game Pass Ultimate Bundle, now just $249.99. Save serious money on gaming with $50 off the Xbox Series S game system today during Staples Holiday Deals. Xbox offer available online and select stores only. While supplies last. Limit 1 ends 12/23.
In New Jersey, it's one wow after another, after another, after another. I'm Chief Meteorologist Dan Zarrow. Not just a summer shore destination, Atlantic City makes for a great winter getaway too. Take a day trip or a weekend staycation for gaming, an incredible variety of food and drinks, and great shows and concerts too. Don't forget the new indoor island water park at Showboat is now open, and you can always enjoy a walk on the iconic AC Boardwalk. Find your wow at visitnj.org. New Jersey, little state, lot of wow.
A town square media station serving all of South Jersey. This is 97.3 ESPN, home of the Philadelphia Eagles.
He stumbles. He's down.
WENJ HD Millville, Atlantic City.
All right, we're back broadcasting live from the Caesars Sportsbook inside the Tropicana for Week 15 in the NFL. Billy Schwein, Mike Carlin, Josh Hennig. We're on location. Danny Ryan back at the studio. And as we see the season progress and we go from fall to winter, and we have 4 games remaining on the schedule, one thing is constant. This is the place to be, Mike Carlin. This is so much fun. I really have been enjoying myself here at the Tropicana. The huge big screen TVs, but the atmosphere is what I like.
It's the atmosphere. You're getting to know new people. I mean, you can come with the crowd, but when you leave here, you're going to have new friends.
Absolutely.
So
And
that's
you know what?
the kind of place it is.
We're gonna bring Victoria up here as we do each and every Sunday. She's the beverage manager, but they've been bringing us Josh food. We've been sampling all the great food here. It's phenomenal. Carmine's, Hash House, a Go-Go. Chickies and Pete's. It's just never ending.
That's why I'm saying if people go to Caesars.com/AC, right, and they go in there, they want to come watch the Eagles game tomorrow night, and maybe they want to stay for the night, wake up the next morning, go to the Hash House, make a couple of days of it. Maybe for your significant other, you say, hey, Merry Christmas. We're going to go to Tropicana to watch the Eagles game on Monday night because they're in Seattle, so we can't go to the home game anyway.
Well, without any further ado, let's welcome into the studio, into the set here.
Our virtual studio.
Our virtual studio, Victoria. Good morning, Victoria.
Good
She's
morning.
Beverage manager here at the Caesars Sportsbook.
She's a bigwig, Bill.
She's
a big wig.
But you know what I noticed, Mike Carlin, about Victoria? She runs this whole thing.
I'm telling you, she's a bigwig.
You want something done, you call Victoria.
Yeah.
Thanks, I think.
Victoria, this time of year is special, especially here. I noticed you just feel the atmosphere. It's Christmas, and you can feel it in here.
Tropicana has been the place, the casino to go for Christmas for a really long time, and bringing back the tree this year in the quarter and the poinsettia tree,
beautiful.
Doing the pop-up this year. So there's a lot of things to make it feel special around this time.
Last week, you brought us some really nice, really cool and exciting drinks. You've been bringing us samples of everything, and everything's been delicious. I mean, one thing that we can ultimately say is it's centrally located, but the atmosphere, like we can see Chickies and Pete's too. Everything's in walking distance, and you can hear people cheering and different factions, different jerseys, but it's all right here in the Tropicana.
Absolutely.
And Victoria said, if you haven't made your way down here to Tropicana this time of year, you don't want to miss it, because the way they go all out, like she said about the quarter,
right?
The way it's decorated, you literally could come here, walk around, and not spend a dime.
Right.
It's like free entertainment here. I mean, they go all out for the holidays, and it shows when you get here.
And speaking of going all out, Victoria, I know you guys are already opening up opportunities for people to book for March Madness.
Yes, we are already thinking way ahead. So reservations are up and open on the Sportsbook website for Tropicana. So all days are available. and it should be a fun time.
You know that
Thursday and Friday.
Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It's just
Sunday.
like the atmosphere. Like there's like this place is going to be going nuts.
We'll be here.
And I hope we're here doing it. But
I mean, can you just look in front of us?
Look
I
at
mean,
us.
there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There's like 20 plus screens
and
here.
they're huge.
And they're all going to have college
We're
basketball
gonna
on.
have
Yeah.
a game on.
Yep.
Our heads are going to be spinning, Victoria.
They do. That day I come in and I put my head down and just go to work. I don't look up at one point during that day.
Victoria, we want to thank you. You rolled out the red carpet for us, and we really appreciate it. We love seeing you every Sunday.
I like having you guys here.
All right, man. All right, well, Victoria, Merry Christmas to you.
Merry
Happy
Christmas,
New Year,
guys.
Happy Holidays, and stop back anytime you want.
Thank you.
Do you know who she has coming today?
Who?
Verdi.
Verdi's
The,
coming.
the Italian restaurant. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I mean, wait till
I'm
you
going
see
to
what's
want to
gonna come.
leave.
Right.
I'm not going to want to leave.
Well, that's
All
the
right.
whole point, Bill. We want
Yeah.
people to come here like we do because they'll find out that they don't want to leave either when they come
Right.
to Tropicana,
We're keeping you
Atlantic
guys
City.
captive
Exactly.
with the food.
Well, we're getting people ready for Week 15 in the NFL. Of course, the Eagles play the Seattle Seahawks Monday night. Now, Josh, we're going to play some sound from Darius Slay, and I want to get I didn't really get a chance to get your take on it. Either you, Mike Carlin. We played Darius Slay's comments. Danny Ryan's going to play right now, but I want you to react to what we heard from Darius Slay yesterday.
Hey, by the way, before I do that, Billy, Jalen Hurts has now been downgraded to questionable after his sickness worsened overnight per a source. So he's still harboring hopes of playing Monday night, according to Adam Schefter, and is traveling to Seattle. However, he's traveling separately so he doesn't get his other teammates sick.
Wow, that's not a good sign.
Yeah, not a good sign at all.
I
Here-
told you guys that this flu thing has been traveling through the whole city, basically.
I've had it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carlin, you were sick, what, last two
4 days.
weeks ago.
4 days, I couldn't get out of bed.
All right. Let's go ahead and play that, Danny.
Here we go. He then went on to say we didn't play worth a bleep.
Yeah, but is there any? There's no I in team, Carlin.
There's one thing that popped out, and that's the first time I've heard that. The
Me,
first
me,
thing
me.
that
I
popped
mean,
in my head when
I
I'm
don't
hearing
think that it's good.
I love when someone says, I don't take it personal, but now I'm talking about it.
Right.
Okay? I don't
Exactly.
understand that. If you're not taking it personal,
It's like
it
when
should have
somebody
never
says,
even come
when
up.
somebody says, "Hey, Mike, with all due respect," no, they're getting ready to disrespect you.
Okay,
Right,
you
Josh?
do take it personal. That's why you're talking about it. Because if you didn't, no one would. This would have never broke.
And not only this, you know what? It just doesn't smell good because it's not like they just lost by 1 or 2 points, and they got crushed the last 2 weeks. They got
75
embarrassed.
points.
75 points in 2 games. He's part of the defense.
So I had 2 takeaways from that. Number one, this is the world we live in now. Every athlete's got a social media profile, podcast, Instagram Live, Twitch Live, Snapchat, TikTok.
And he added it too. You can hear the applause in the background. Like
Well,
he
it's a full
controlled-
production. Yeah,
right. It was a whole
You know,
production.
so but that's not the point. You're sidetracking.
Oh, I'm
Billy.
just.
I
The
know what
point
he's, I
is
know what
that
he's thinking.
every athlete now has opportunity to speak their mind in a
Right.
way they never could before. And it's a blessing and a curse because it's a blessing that now we get to get real insights from them, but it's a curse because now these athletes no longer have the team PR in their ear to remind them it might not be a good idea. Maybe you shouldn't say this. Maybe you shouldn't do this. But instead, now they're speaking all the time. And that leads into the second problem with what I have with what he said, which is he's so focused on him doing his job that he forgets that there are times as a professional athlete on a professional team that you have to sacrifice for the greater good. So, for example, there may have been a play or two where if Slay would have done something differently to benefit the whole team
Could've
instead
helped
of
out.
just his own play, because guess what? hey, good job, Darius Slay. We're all applauding with our fake crowd noise on your podcast. But guess what? At the end of the day, if your team doesn't win games, nobody cares.
And not only that, Mike Carlin, I heard somebody say during the week that they don't really care. That it's the secondary. They're not worried about their tackling or lack thereof. No, you got to tackle. It's football. And, Reed Blankenship, by the way, he's leading in the fan voting for All Pro.
Well, that's because he's a fan.
But guess what, Carlin? I'm going to show you this.
I mean, he leads the team in tackles.
I was going to say, Jay Danny, exactly right. I got my stats. When you have a safety to lead your team in tackles, that's not good.
By the time he's tackling, it's first down.
Right.
You're just giving up first down.
Remember who I picked on last year or 2 years ago? Singletary.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
He'd make tackles. He's playing for Denver now, I believe.
Yeah, he plays for Denver now.
Singleton.
Singleton. But Danny, get ready for this. When he'd make a tackle 10 yards down the field, celebrate like he stopped somebody on the goal line. But he's giving up first downs. When you have Reed Blankenship, a safety, leading your team in tackles, that is not good.
Yeah, I mean, to expand upon Darius Slay's video real quick, yeah, sure, he only got targeted a few times because he's a threat to pick off the ball. Sure, he didn't let up any big plays or these big catches. But what happens once the middle of the field is exploited and just overall exposed from the weak linebacker play? Yeah, you in the secondary is supposed to make a tackle. You and James Bradbury have trash or your names on trash cans outside the NovaCare complex because you're supposed to make a tackle not only in the Bills and the Dallas game, but in our last loss against Dallas and the 49ers game as well. Like, they were one of the huge reasons as to why Deebo Samuel was getting plenty of time in open field. I mean, you have to make those tackles.
All right, I want to throw something out. We got about another minute before we have to take a break. Real quick, I want you to respond. Do you think the Eagles didn't score one touchdown against
one offensive
touchdown against the Cowboys? First to you, Josh. Do you think the Eagles are dumbed down their offense or just kept it bland so they don't want to show too much to the Cowboys?
No, that's not what.
Why are you afraid to show?
Well, they've already beaten.
You got to win.
Well, but they've already beaten them. I don't know. I'm just saying, but put it out there.
Or Dallas defense that good? Maybe
no.
That's it.
The Eagles fumbled the ball 3 times within field goal range.
Right.
So they would have at worst had a field goal in those situations. I don't think they dumbed down the offense. I think that Jalen, AJ Brown, and Devonta Smith all let their team down.
Okay.
I think that's what happened. I think the week before they made too many mistakes of trying to go for the big play. So one week the turnovers killed you. The week before, the obsession with the big play killed you.
You said something really quick earlier when we were talking about Jason.
Right.
About the 2 back-to-back penalties that were hurtful.
Right.
Have we gotten to the point where we just talked about with Slade that the social media could be killing this team? When you get to the top, everybody wants your time when you're stepping off the field doing practice. Is there too much time being spent on myself and building up myself on social media?
I don't think that's fair because these guys are human beings. They need to disconnect at some point.
Well, just like Gainwell.
We never did it again. We never did it 10 years ago. We didn't do it.
Wasn't Gainwell texting?
They were thinking football 7 days a week.
But that's not
ready
true.
For the game.
Guys were always, they were just doing other things that weren't podcasts.
Right,
guys have always done.
You
hung around with.
We had Gainwell texting during the game during halftime.
But see, that's more of a problem than the podcast,
right?
Because that's during the game.
Well, I'm talking about commercials, everything, not just podcast. I just think there's more social being pulled from them with their time that they're not just in the book studying plays.
Yeah, but guys were trash teams 10, 15, 20 years ago as well. What was their excuse?
All right. We're getting heated. I love it. I like the back and forth. Josh gets a little excited, but we got to keep him in check. We got a big game, and we got Week 15 in the NFL today. For over 83 years, the Circle Liquor Store has offered the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits in South Jersey. It's a stone's throw away from Ocean City. It's a landmark with a friendly staff. It's no wonder why Circle Liquors was named Best of Philly, Best of Atlantic City, with the most competitive prices around. The Circle Liquor Store is now a proud sponsor of the second hour of the Locker Room with Billy Schwein. Throwing a party, preparing for the big game. Let Chet and his staff make sure you have everything you need. Check out the website at circleliquors.com or give them a call at 609-927-2921. That's Circle Liquor Store in Summers Point, New Jersey.
Experience the best of the NFL season at Tropicana Atlantic City with Caesars Sportsbook and multiple sports bars all under one roof. Tropicana is the ultimate game day destination. Bring your friends, grab a beer, cheer on your favorite teams. Now's the time to make a game plan and reserve your seats. Learn more at Caesars.com/AC.
Hey, I'm here to tell you about La Scala's Beach House. you got to get down to La Scala's. They're located in Brigantine. It opened this summer to rave reviews. It's your home away from home for a large selection of Italian, American, and seafood favorites, just like your grandma made. Plus, you'll enjoy their famous pizza, daily specials, and their game day menu. They got a big bar, wraparound bar with huge screen TVs. They've got a game day menu that is to die for. Eat in or take out at La Scala's. They're open Wednesday through Sunday, 1400 Ocean Avenue in Brigantine. Every Thursday night is Brigantine night. Live music from 6 to 9 p.m. One free signature pizza per table. How about that? Drink specials, $2 Miller Lite, $3 Peronis, $4 house wines. That's LaScalasBeachHouse.com. Let's eat. Well, all right, when we return, we'll continue with more here as we broadcast live from the Caesars Sportsbook inside the Tropicana. Billy Schwein, Mike Carlin, Josh Hennig, Danny Ryan, right here on 97.3 ESPN.
Hey, it's Mike Gill from the Sports Bash. We have once again joined forces with the United States Marine Corps Reserve to make sure kids in need in South Jersey have a gift to open on Christmas. Drop off a new unwrapped toy at one of these Toys for Tots locations. Sport Hyundai, 6831 Black Horse Pike, Egg Harbor Township. Sage Jewelers, 1112 Tilton Road, Northfield. Springfield Mitsubishi, Atlantic City, 7018 Black Horse Pike in Pleasantville, to help support this year's Toys for Tots of Atlantic County.
Ocean City's real estate market is red hot. You need an agent that has the knowledge and expertise to help. Contact Ocean City's top agent, Mark Rhymes. Mark has been selling real estate for 30 years in South Jersey. He can answer all your real estate questions and find you the perfect property. He's available anytime on his cell at 609-425-2042. When Philadelphia star athletes are looking for a house at the beach, they contact Mark Rhymes, specializing in buying and selling vacation homes, single-family homes, condominiums, and duplexes, residential and commercial, as well as new construction projects or investment opportunities. Mark Rhymes, he's your agent at the beach. Give him a call right now, 609-425-2042, or check out his website at grimes.com.
Hi, this is ex-Philadelphia Eagles tight end Ken Dunnick, and I'm the current publisher of Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine, and I'm asking you to become a Camden County police officer and help make our city a better place to live. The Camden County Police Department is now hiring for sworn officers who are going to make a difference in our community. The first year's salary for the position is $51,000. So join the effort today to be part of something bigger than yourself. Visit CamdenCountyPD.org to apply online. That's CamdenCountyPD.org. Thank you.
When you open the Bet Parks app, you're in the zone. Winning is always a rush, but the money is in the moments. It's the energy of being all in, the passion of a perfect parlay, and the pure joy of a jackpot. It's another opportunity to win big every day of the week. Sign up for Bet Parks and get a welcome offer today. You play for fun, you love to win. You bet. Bet Parks.
Must be 21 in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Ohio, or Maryland. Gambling problem? 1-800-GAMBLER.
Joe Conklin here, and I'm excited to cheer on the Philadelphia 76ers this season with Marks Casino. Marks Casino, the #1 casino in Pennsylvania, is the official local casino partner of the 76ers. That's right. Two of the best brands in the Philadelphia area are joined together to bring fans what they love most, wins. Remember to tune into 76ers games to get in on the Marks offers for fans. And to see me live at 360 at Marks Casino, visit markscasino.com for tickets. This is how you win. You want to roll? Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein on 97.3 ESPN and the free 97.3 ESPN mobile app.
All right, we're back broadcasting live with the Caesars Sportsbook inside the Tropicana for Week 15 in the NFL. And get you ready for the Eagles Seahawks Monday night. Carlin, I got couple weeks ago, I got tickets from my good friend Dominic Mariani for the Sixers game for Monday night, the 18th of December, and then a week ago, Josh, they moved the game, or 2 weeks ago, they moved the Eagles game to a Monday night. Now I got a conflict. I'm taking the doobie-doo. My daughter, Eliza Grace, to the Sixers tomorrow night.
What time's the game? 7?
7. And I said to AG, I said, can we leave at halftime? She goes, no.
Oh, you can if they're getting killed. But who are they playing?
They're playing the Bulls. Chicago
the Bulls. That's going to
Bulls.
be a good game.
That's going to be a good game.
Bill, it's called DVR.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
You know, it'd be nice if the Sixers did when the game is over. Eventually, put it on the screen.
Put it on the screen.
Have people sit there and watch it.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did like in-game updates for the Eagles game. That's a huge deal in Philly.
But it's a big, and this is a big game. I can't emphasize it enough. This is a get right. They need to get right today, Carlin.
I'm going to be a little selfish. There's 2 players in this game that really want the game. You know why?
Why?
You're looking for a defensive player of the year.
Right.
2 players. You got Devin Witherspoon, who was the number 5 pick in the draft.
Okay.
Rookie. Did I say the rookie defensive player against Jalen Carter, the number 9 pick? One's got 4 sacks. One's got 3 sacks. The player of that game for that could be on the national audience, could be the rookie of the year.
And I'm glad he brought that up, Josh. Danny, let me ask you your opinion on this. There's been suggestion that this team defensively looks gassed. And when you talk about that, I think people are referring to the 2 guys in the middle, Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis. And we saw how big that guy is. Why is he not dominating? You know what I mean? Like Jalen Carter had a great play. He ran for a touchdown last week in a fumble recovery. But they look gassed.
They should be gassed. They should be gassed because they've been going in and out. No one is on that line for every play, every down.
Yeah, but so
there was a big headline in the Inquirer last week. They look gassed.
Well, I don't spend my time reading headlines. But
all right, how about this, Josh? Let me throw this at you. Because in college, their season technically is over right now. They'd have one more game, a bowl game. So it's obviously a lot shorter. Is it?
And a month off to get ready for
it.
So there's 2 separate layers to this. One, don't forget, we talked about in the last hour how few minutes the Eagles are on the field, the time of possession. So if you don't have the ball on offense, who's on the field more? It's the defense. So I don't care how in shape you are. You're asking somebody now to do something that is unnatural for them. You're asking them to play more than technically even what a reasonable person can expect. Number 2, I think that, we overlook the fact that these guys are playing a lot of snaps the last few weeks. Remember, Fletcher Cox didn't play 1 week. They got rid of Contavious Street earlier this year. We're going to talk about that. That opened up more playing time for these guys.
Milton Williams is playing pretty well.
Milton Williams missed time. He had a concussion a couple weeks ago. So you're asking guys who were part of a rotation, who are now playing more, and you have them on the field more because of Josh Allen and Dak Prescott and Brock Purdy ripping them apart. They can't get off the field because they're already tired, and the offense can't stay on the field.
And another aspect of this that I think we've been not really talking about much is they let TJ Edwards go. And he's having a good year in Chicago, Josh.
Yes.
He's been playing pretty well. Where are the Eagles deficient? It's linebacker. Right?
Yeah, correct.
Well, they don't emphasize, they don't value that position.
They think they can
paying,
get by.
They get by without it.
But
and it's coming back to bite them. And you know what? The derriere.
Well, that goes back to the question I asked this week on the Sports Bash, Mike Gill. And Danny, you were there. You remember me asking this, and I'll ask it to you guys here. How much of a mistake did Howie Roseman make? We spent a lot of time praising him when he gets things right recently. But did Howie Roseman not give the Eagles coaching staff a good enough roster?
Danny, you can answer that first.
He had to do it, essentially. He had to pick which position group he wanted to prioritize with the money he had. I mean, he did. Unless Jeffrey Lurie, I'm convinced that Jeffrey Lurie was not willing to let him go over a certain amount of money to bring those linebackers back, and he decided to go with Bradbury. I think so. I mean, why wouldn't you bring a guy like at least TJ Edwards? Kaiser White's another story, but at least TJ Edwards back. It seemed like he prioritized the money he had to the cornerback room. And he brought back Slay. He brought back Bradbury for those 3-year deals. I didn't have money to put towards the linebacker position. But it's that he was also banking on his, 3rd-round draft pick in Nakobe Dean, who was supposed to be a first-round pick, paying off.
And not only that, too, you mean Devontae Maddox being hurt. I think that's been I think that's been pretty significant for the Eagles. It not only it's his leadership, his play. Mike Carlin, he's a good player. He plays that slot position.
Well, the problem is he's always injured.
Right.
He's been injured every single year.
But when he's on the field, he's pretty
that's great. But then you got to have a proper backup in place for him.
I think what Danny said hit it right on the button for me. I think Howie thought more out of Dean this year than what he's getting, banking what he already got out of Georgia players in the past.
Right.
Coming right in and being ready to play.
By the way, speaking of Avonte Maddox, the Eagles are expected to open his 21-day practice window this upcoming week. It hasn't officially happened yet, but it's going to.
Like I said, we're going to get ready for our predictions. We're going to talk with the fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley. But I got to tell you, man, I'm looking at the stats. I'm looking at this thing, and I'm leaning towards the Eagles. I'm wishy-washy. I'm pessimistic as I've been the last 2 weeks, but I'm starting to come around, like Carlin. I think the Eagles need this game. They're desperate.
What do I usually say in basketball? Who has the better players on the team?
The cream will rise to the top.
Right. We're a better team.
For over 83 years, the Circle Liquor Store has offered the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits in South Jersey. It's a stone's throw away from Ocean City. It's a landmark with a friendly staff. It's no wonder why Circle Liquors was named Best of Philly, Best of Atlantic City, with the most competitive prices around. The Circle Liquor Store is now a proud sponsor of the second hour of the Locker Room with Billy Schwein. Throwing a party, preparing for the big game. Let Chet and his staff make sure you have everything you need. Check out the website at circleliquors.com or give them a call at 609-927-2921. That's Circle Liquor Store in Summers Point, New Jersey.
Sign up for Caesars Rewards today and earn and redeem Atlantic City's best hotel stays and entertainment, nightlife experiences, and more at Tropicana Atlantic City. Head to the Quarter this fall to redeem one-on-one comps and top-tier dining, boutique shopping, and the ultimate IMAX experience featuring the largest screen in South Jersey.
I'm here to tell you about the Stanton Insurance Group. Dave Stanton and the Stanton Insurance Group, they're a great organization. What is keeping you up at night? Life is full of surprises. But with the Stanton Insurance Group, you'll never be caught off guard. Whether it's protecting your home, automobile, or business, Stanton will help you select the right insurance coverage at the right price to give you and your family peace of mind when you need it the most. Visit sigprotection.com for a free quote today. That's sigprotection.com. All right, when we return, we'll talk with the fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein, Mike Carlin, Josh Hennig, as we broadcast live from the Caesars Sportsbook inside the Tropicana on 97.3 ESPN.
Today on Compass Media Network's coverage of the NFL, it's a crucial cross-conference showdown in Buffalo as the Dallas Cowboys visit the Bills. Hi, this is Jerry Recco. Join Kevin Ray, Danny White, myself for all the action as Dak Prescott and the NFC East leading Cowboys look for a 6th straight win. But Josh Allen and the Bills are looking to keep their playoff hopes alive. It's the Dallas Cowboys and the Buffalo Bills. If it's the NFL, it's right here.
It's NFL Sunday on 97.3 ESPN. Coverage begins after Game 1 of our triple header.
Every year, hundreds of children suffer from unintentional injuries or death due to unsecured guns. Camden County and Moms Demand Action South Jersey are asking for your help to reduce gun violence by spreading the Be Smart message.
Store guns unloaded, locked, and separate from ammunition. And talk to other parents about secure gun storage.
It's up to us to prevent these tragedies and save lives. Visit CamdenCounty.com/Be Smart to learn how we can stop gun accidents and deaths together.
The power's out at our house. Coffee table. But since our family has storm-ready Wi-Fi from Xfinity, we can stream or game in the dark. Oh, who moved the couch? So that's what we're doing right now, in fact, is I try and feel around for a seat. Ah, here we go. Oh, cactus? Can I get a little help over here?
Yeah, bro. Just let me finish this boss battle.
Sure, go ahead. Medic!
Now you can get fast, reliable internet on the Xfinity 10G network and get storm-ready Wi-Fi when you upgrade, so you can stay connected for up to 4 hours, even when the power goes out. Only from Xfinity. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Storm-ready Wi-Fi limited to customers within range of 4G LTE cellular signal. Speeds reduced to 30/7 megabits per second. Actual speeds vary. For more details, visit Xfinity.com/stormready.
Now, on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
All right, we're back broadcasting live from the Caesars Sportsbook inside the Tropicana for Week 15 in the NFL. And you're ready for the Eagles, Seattle Seahawks Monday night. And, fantasy football, we're in our playoffs.
You made it?
I made the playoffs, Carlin. All right, let me give you 5 right there. Despite the fact that Josh gave me some bad advice earlier this season. How about Jared Goff yesterday? Put 40.
Listen, you wouldn't have had
I'm
that
only
7-game
kidding,
winning
Josh.
streak if I didn't set your lineup for 2 weeks.
I'm only kidding. Listen, how about Goff? He had 44 points yesterday.
I told you to keep him, didn't
And I kept him. All right. Now it's time for my fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley, brought to you by Charlie's Bar and Restaurant in Summers Point, New Jersey, serving lunch, dinner, spirits. Watch the big games while eating and enjoying those famous wings. Check out their full menu at charliesbar.com. Call for takeout at 609-927-FOOD. That's 609-927-3663. Meet your friends at Charlie's Bar at the shore since 44. That's Charlie's Bar. Let's go to the Toms River Volkswagen Sports Hotline and welcome into the locker room our good buddy, my fantasy football guru and yours, Brian Hartley. Good morning, Brian. Any conga line today? Are you in the conga line? Or what do you got going today, Brian? Why? He's ripping you.
Listen, it's not my fault that there's been 5 different superintendents in 2021. Okay, it's not my fault that there's a complete turnover of the school board. The voters voted 3 new people on the school board. It's not my fault. I'm just reporting the facts. That's okay. I was a kid made tech for high school anyway, so.
Hey, Guru, I made the playoffs despite the fact that you guys had you had no confidence in me. I made the playoffs, but how about I played Jared Goff yesterday? He scored 44 points, 5 touchdowns, but I'm still, you know how they have the win probability. It looks like it says I'm not going to win. 64% for my opponent.
Bro.
I listen to you, Guru.
Well, what's unlucky is that for people who are Dolphin owners of Dolphin players, Tyreek Hill has been declared inactive for the game today. So, Brian, if you are someone who has Tua Tagovailoa, are you benching him if you can this week?
Because I suffered another big loss in Isaiah Pacheco for the Chiefs. He's out for the rest of the season. Doesn't look like, and he was scoring big time for me, Guru. All right, well, I'll tell you what, it's week 15 in the NFL, Brian. Let's get to it right away. Who are your picks? Because, I mean, there's so many enemies. We have how many quarterbacks are done for this season? And how many running backs have been eliminated? Not too much out there. So, Brian, week 15, give us your picks.
Hey, Billy, real quick, if I could hop in.
Absolutely.
Brian did say all three players I'm kind of in limbo with right now. So in our ESPN league that I'm in with Billy, by the way, Billy's projected to lose by 30. Just figured I'd throw that out there. But I'm right now deciding between James Cook, Rashee Rice, or Zay Flowers. I can start two of them, sit one. If you were me, James Cook against Dallas, Rashee Rice against New England, or Zay Flowers against Jacksonville. One of them has to sit. Who would you sit? All right, I'm going to trust you. I have your number. Billy gave it to me, so you'll be hearing from me if that goes poorly.
All right, Guru. I must talk to you a little bit before we let you go about the Philadelphia Eagles losing 2 games in a row. Didn't score a touchdown offensively last week. This team's got problems, but how do you think this game's going to shake out on Monday night? (27-23) Eagles. Fantasy football guru Brian Hartley, as always, we appreciate you and your insight with fantasy football. We'll talk to you next week. All right, there's the fantasy football guru Brian Hartley. Is brought to you by Charlie's Bar and Restaurant in Summers Point, serving lunch, dinner, spirits. Watch all the big games while enjoying their famous wings. Check out their full menu at charliesbar.com. Give them a call for takeout at 609-927-FOOD, 609-927-3663. Meet your friends at Charlie's Bar at the shore since 44. It's Charlie's Bar. And, of course, Brian was on the Tom's River Volkswagen Sports Hotline.
Fall into fun this season with a getaway at Tropicana, Atlantic City. Rake in the savings with incredible hotel deals. Indulge in restaurants and revel in exciting nightlife and entertainment. Book your Tropicana getaway today at Caesars.com/AC.
For over 83 years, the Circle Liquor Store has offered the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits in South Jersey. It's a stone's throw away from Ocean City. It's a landmark with a friendly staff. It's no wonder why Circle Liquors was named Best of Philly, Best of Atlantic City, with the most competitive prices around. The Circle Liquor Store is now a proud sponsor of the second hour with Billy Schwein. Throwing a party, preparing for the big game. Let Chet and the staff make sure you have everything you need. Check out the website at circleliquors.com or give them a call at 609-927-2921. That's Circle Liquor Store. They deliver. Hey, just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine that is run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. But were you aware of their private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month, they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey that attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and see it's a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give him a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. All right, when we return, what are we going to have, Mike?
Verdi's
Verdi's
Italian
going to stop
restaurant.
by.
He's going to stop by.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein, Mike Carlin, Josh Hennig, Danny Ryan back at the studio as we broadcast live from the Caesars Sportsbook inside the Tropicana right here on 97.3 ESPN.
Football Sunday on ESPN Radio. After a shocking Monday night loss, the Miami Dolphins look to bounce back against their AFC East rival, the New York Jets.
I thought Zach probably played the best game of his career, getting the ball out to where it needed to get to, being aggressive, but smart at the same time. He's out there having a good time.
The Jets at the Dolphins. Coverage begins at noon Eastern with kickoff at 1 Eastern.
It's NFL Sunday on 97.3 ESPN. Coverage begins at noon.
Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza, the pizza you're gonna love. It's got the freshest taste, there's no other place. Randazzo's Pizza, there's one right nearby. Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza. It's a pizza like you never had before. Eat it or take it home, no matter where you roam. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
Why would you call anyone else besides Randazzo's Pizzeria and Family Restaurant, 34th and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Open year-round, 7 days a week, offering free delivery on the whole island and to the beach. Pizza, pasta, salads, entrees, subs, paninis, and wraps. Voted best of the shore. Call 814-1600. 814-1600.
Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you find. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you find.
Winning means keeping our community safe. I'm Hassan Reddick, linebacker for the Philadelphia Eagles. 59% of our adults report experiencing gun violence or know someone who has. Just like we focus on our training, we need to focus on proper gun storage.
Firearms should be locked out of reach of children and only accessible by you.
If you notice any warning signs of violence, speak up. Tell someone who can help.
Let's tackle gun violence together. Visit CamdenCounty.com/gun safety to learn more.
In New Jersey, it's one wow after another, after another, after another. I'm Chief Meteorologist Dan Zarrow. Not just a summer shore destination, Atlantic City makes for a great winter getaway too. Take a day trip or a weekend staycation for gaming, an incredible variety of food and drinks, and great shows and concerts too. Don't forget the new indoor island water park at Showboat is now open, and you can always enjoy a walk on the iconic AC Boardwalk. Find your wow at visitnj.org. New Jersey, little state, lot of wow.
You're listening to the Billy Schwein on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
All right, we're back broadcasting live at the Caesars Sportsbook inside the Tropicana for Week 15 in the NFL. Of course, get you ready for the Seattle Seahawks game Monday night. Hey, Carlin, while we're in here, guys, we had a guy approach the desk and said, take the Giants straight up, and another guy over there was doing him. He had a Jets hat on. It's 11:45, and they're already starting to get into it.
Listen, I can tell you right now, the Giants are not winning today. That Tommy DeVito chicken cutlet train is going to go take a pit stop in New Orleans.
Well, guess what?
They got jambalaya down there. Not chicken
I don't
cutlet.
care if the Eagles are good, the Giants are bad, or vice versa. The Giants and Eagles always. It's a tough game.
Gets down to
It's
the
not.
wire.
You can't say it's a win no matter how bad the Giants are playing. And guess what, Josh? This Tommy DeVito story, this is the kind of story that could ignite a team.
It's a cute story.
All right, but you never know.
Okay, so he played 3 bad teams.
Like, I'm not going to say as bad as the Eagles have been playing.
He played 3 bad teams.
All right, but Josh, the teams that the Eagles, the way the Eagles have been playing, you think it's going to be easy? It's not.
The Eagles are 10-3.
Right.
You make it sound like they're 3-10.
They just squeaked by the Washington Commanders twice.
It's a division game.
All right.
You said
well, that's what I'm saying. So this is a division game, and everybody says, "Oh, they're going to run the table the last 3 weeks." Not so fast.
Well, sure, not so fast, especially considering the final last week they'll probably sit half the team if everything's locked up.
Yeah, now we got Verdi coming in here, and every week we get samples from some of the establishments in here. And who are we speaking with right now?
Yeah,
Chef Mike from the Tropicana.
Hey, Chef Mike, how you doing?
Good.
Man?
How's it going?
Get
Thanks
ready for the
having
holidays.
me.
Get ready for the holidays.
Ready. We're ready.
Are you an Eagles fan?
Giants fan, but I like
Giants
the Eagles
fan.
too.
Well, we got a lot of
yeah.
Giants fans in the house here today.
Oh yeah, big day.
But as long as you're cooking up the good food, man, we're all about it.
Cool.
What do you got?
Ready.
What do you got today for us?
So right now we have our signature pasta dish, which is called our rigatoni bolognese. It's house-made sausage ragu with some hand-cut rigatoni pasta, a little regatta on top. Then we have 2 different antipastas for you. We have like a charcuterie board, meat and cheese, and then we have our vegetarian antipasta, which is surprisingly pretty awesome.
That's really good. I one thing about like it's all under one roof. It's all close.
Billy.
It's just
the food is awesome. Let me tell you,
unbelievable.
the food's awesome.
Yeah.
But you know what's just as awesome? The view.
The view.
The view is
He keeps
unbelievable.
talking about that. Shit,
It's remarkable. You should come by later.
Yeah. It's tell us what do you have coming up for Christmas? Anything
So
special?
on Christmas Eve, we feature a Feast of the Seven Fishes dinner, which is like our signature
Wow.
Italian dinner. Every year we do it, and it draws a huge crowd. You actually get to try 7 different fishes, so it's good value too. It's $84.99 a head. So
I'm Italian. I've never done the 7 fishes.
They're not 7
It's
fishes.
good.
No, I've never done it.
What's wrong with you?
it's sacrilegious.
Yeah, exactly.
Mike, I remember there is a happy hour.
Yeah,
at
we
the
do happy hour Wednesday through Sunday from 5:00 p.m. till 6:30 p.m. 5 days a week, and you can get $5 apps, $7 apps, $7 glasses of wine. It's a steal. It's remarkable, and the view, like you said, it's phenomenal.
So really quick. So what has been a popular dish for you guys? Like a lot of people ordering this year.
Yeah, so I feel like once we moved over from our old location, we kind of revamped the menu. Right. We redid our whole pasta menu. So we feature 4 new pastas, and out of those 4, I think our top-selling dishes are scampi piccata. It's a take on chicken piccata, veal piccata.
Right, sure.
It's a take on that with shrimp instead. Wow. It's a pasta dish with gavadils. So
My mouth is starting to water already. The New York Giants have a quarterback named Tommy Cutler.
It's my man, dude. Jersey, baby. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like right out of The Sopranos. I mean,
phenomenal.
I mean, he's got his agent with the hat on that picture.
Straight from the mafia.
Right. But Italians are known for their cooking, right?
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
I mean, it's just the dishes are
their heritage. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Especially when they came over here from Italy, all these immigrants, and they miss a lot of that fish, the seafood.
Yeah.
That's kind of representative of that 7 fishes dinner.
Well, that's why, for example, for those who don't know the history of Seattle City, Seattle was founded by a lot of Italian people because a lot of people wanted to work on the bay so they could fish, get the food, and then make it in the
Same
restaurants.
day, right? Oh yeah.
Mike, we really appreciate it.
Appreciate it, man.
We as soon as the show's over, we're going to dig in.
Oh, please.
But we really appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
And so if people want to make reservations,
So you can go to Caesars.com, Tropicana.net, as well as Open Table. We're on Open Table. You can call the restaurant directly. You can hit me up if you have my personal cell. So I'll take
I
care
don't know
of
if
you.
you wanted to get that out. Your phone will be ringing off the hook.
Yeah, right.
Well, we
Awesome.
appreciate it, man.
guys.
Happy holidays
Thank
to you.
you so much.
And
Merry
thanks for
Christmas.
stopping by. We really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you
there he
so
is,
much.
Chef Mike.
Thank you,
As we get ready. All right, let's go. It's time for predictions, Mike Carlin, and we're going to start off with you.
You ready?
Yeah.
I'm usually right to the point. I'm going with 31-21 Eagles.
31-21
Eagles. This is a game the Eagles have to have. I think they just want it more than Seattle. Seattle, I think, is going to be playing tough at home, but I think.
So let me ask you this, Mike. Great. You said to me you didn't think Grayson sounded convincing. You seem a little bit more convincing.
I think there's more at stake in this game, and I think they're coming off the 2 bad losses. I think the leadership in the locker room is going to say, "Hey guys, we're not losing 3 in a row."
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I think you'll see it.
Danny Ryan, back at the studio. Let's hear your take.
Yeah, guys, after my failed take, after failed prediction, after failed prediction, I'm no longer, and not that I was doing it intentionally, but I can no longer come from the homer standpoint or homer point of view. So I'm going to go 31-24 Seahawks. I think that DK Metcalf, Jackson Smith and Jigba, and Tyler Lockett are going to have great days at the office, especially when James Bradbury is your cornerback one. Plus, I mean, granted, the Seahawks might have a backup quarterback playing in Drew Lock, but so might the Eagles. So it could be Marcus Mariota versus Drew Lock, and I don't love our chances because Drew Lock played decent last week against San Fran, and the defense, it's without Darius Slay and others possibly. I don't see a win. We postponed the win in Seattle for longer than 15 years.
So you get 31. What is the score?
31-24 Seahawks.
31-24 Seahawks. Say it ain't so. Josh Hennig, producer extraordinaire, game night Monday through Friday.
Mm-hmm.
With your exceptional knowledge of football.
Now you're just buttering me up.
6 to 7 p.m. for game night.
6 to 7 p.m. for game night.
So,
give us your prediction, Josh.
So I can't get past the fact I think the Eagles are the better team. And I think the better team usually wins these games. I think that the quarterbacks for both teams, they're not going to be 100% no matter what. Gino, I mean, dealing with a groin injury for a quarterback is complicated, right? So to me, I just don't see this being a game. Listen, Billy, you were right last week to think with your head and not your heart. So
2 weeks in a row.
So I'm trying to think with my head in
exactly.
this situation, but I'm still going Eagles in this game.
Okay.
I think they're the better team. So I think the Eagles win. I'm gonna say 28-24.
28-24, Philadelphia Eagles. All right, now it's my turn. I was very pessimistic. I have been for the last 2 weeks. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back and say that I picked the 49ers and the Cowboys in consecutive weeks, and I happen to be right. It pained me to do that, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
But this week, after listening to everybody, hearing Scott Grayson, hearing Mike Carlin,
gathering all the
information, this is a must-win for the Eagles. And despite the fact that Jalen Hurts is maybe with the flu and Slay's out and Cam Jurgens and all that, I think the Eagles find a way to win this game. I really do. I really believe that. I want to believe that.
You believe in your heart of hearts.
I believe in my heart of hearts. I believe in my head that this team is going to right the ship because this team, like you said, Mike, their roster's better.
If it came out right now that he wasn't going to start, do you believe in Marcus to win the game?
Yes.
Yeah, I do because
Okay,
you know
good.
what?
Then that's
like,
what I
you know
want
what
to
it's
hear.
like? A couple years back, remember, there was a quarterback named Garcia.
Yeah.
All right, Christmas time, he went down there and beat the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So I do believe in Marcus Mariota, and I'm going to pick the Eagles in a low-scoring contest today. 21.
You mean tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night, 21-17.
21-17.
Yeah, I believe that.
Can I
the
clarify
Eagles-
my prediction real quick as well? If Hurts
Go for
plays and if it's Hurts versus Drew Lock, I'll take the Eagles. But if you're giving me Marcus Mariota versus Drew Lock, I think the Eagles lose that game 31-24, like I said.
So you don't think Mariota is a better quarterback than Drew Lock?
I honestly no. I don't think that at this point in his career. At this point in his career, I do not. No, not at all.
See that you're putting a lot of faith in a guy who struggled last week. You know, they scored over 16 points.
Yeah, he struggled
last
against
week.
the 49ers. So did we.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You know how the backup quarterback, especially in Philadelphia, we're always worried about what the backup quarterback's going to do. Nick Foles is a legendary.
Well, you mentioned Jeff Garcia,
AJ Feely, we always
Kevin
had,
Cobb.
right? And I think it could be a shot in the arm. It could be just what the Eagles need because if the team realizes that they don't have their leader, they might circle the wagons.
Well, they also might run the ball more.
And
you heard Brian Hartley say earlier. Right. You know, this could be a huge game for Swift. If Swift gets 20 carries and that's like 100 rushing yards, the Eagles are probably winning that game.
Well, I think I know why Danny's is saying what he said about Marcus. So if we get Drew Luck, I think Drew Luck in his mind knows he's in the league for a couple more years and there's more to play for. I think I wouldn't be surprised if this is last year for Marcus.
Well, and I don't want to sit here and say like there's this huge talent separation between Mariota and Locke because there isn't. Only reason I think I'm going to take Drew Lock is because of his arm talent compared to Mariota's. He has some explosive receivers that he's going to be playing with against a banged-up Eagles secondary, and Marcus Mariota hasn't had many reps within the first team. I mean, I don't really see him making much of an impact through the air. If, to your point, Josh, if DeAndre Swift goes berserk, 20 carries for 100 yards, then I could see a closer game, but that's why I take Lock
So
over
I read this
Mariota.
stat earlier. It said the Eagles are 30-6 when they run the ball 23 times or more, and they're 3-8 when they don't.
Well, the other thing is that, Danny, you are presuming the Seahawks offensive line is going to hold up too.
Yeah. I mean, big doubt against the Philly defensive line, no doubt about it. But I just have more trust in Locke, I think, because honestly, it's more because of our lack of talent in the secondary with Slay out than it is Drew Lock's talent. I'll say that.
We need a Christmas present like no other one. Put it on your list, Carlin.
Win?
Put a win down.
I like that.
All right.
We need it.
Wow, man, that went quick. That went always does. We're broadcasting live at the Caesars Sportsbook here in the Tropicana. Throughout the football season, it's the place to be. I want to thank Mike Carlin. As always, you did a great job. Scott Grayson from Fox 29 News, brought to you by Blitz's Market. This fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley, brought to you by Charlie's Bar. Josh Hennig, as always, did a great job. Thank you, Danny Ryan, back in the studio. Thanks for making the locker room part of your Sunday, because nothing could be finer than talking sports with the Schweiner. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and let's go, Birds.
Let's go, Birds.
The preceding program was paid for by The Locker Room with Billy Schwein.
This is